Hello guys, and welcome to Imola for another edition in this Project Cars career. Race 10 of Season 3 coming right up. Unfortunately, it's a little bit delayed as I had a very busy weekend and I didn't have time to drive the race here, but hopefully you're going to be bearing with me as we get ready for the qualifying session here in beautiful sunny conditions, and hopefully this weather is going to carry over to race day tomorrow. Usually we end up having a little bit of rain here, but hopefully that's not going to be the case this year. Jumping straight into the fray here, this is going to be our one and only qualifying lap in this session here. Need to make this a good one as we come into the Tamburello section of the track here, missing the apex a little bit and having to lift coming through the middle section of the chicane there. So unfortunately, we're not exactly off to the best start. Coming through Villeneuve, once again, missing the apex on entry and getting a bad exit also. So this is not looking very good so far here as we come into Tosa. For once, we actually seem to take that corner right, and apparently we have a best sector 1 time so far, so apparently not quite as bad as I had feared this might be, and we might still have a chance at grabbing pole here as we come down the hill here into Acqua Minerale, down into third, into the right-hander here, just clipping the curb on exit as we come uphill down this short straight. Going to be braking hard into the Alta chicane. This is my absolutely hated spot on this track here because of the curbs. The curbs are so high, it's unbelievable. You get too much of these and you're off track, into the wall, or worse. Best sector 2 time so far. This is going to be a very good time indeed if we can just... And just as I say that, we run wide here, coming through turn 14 and getting a bad exit out of 15. This could end up costing us down the line here, coming out on the main straight. The fuel indicators lighten up, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be the only lap of this qualifying session. Let's see where this takes us. P9. And that is indeed a disappointment here, especially when you look at the sector times that we put up for sectors 1 and 2. Making a little bit of a mistake here coming into turn 14, and apparently that was enough to put us down into P9 here. So starting again at the middle of the grid for tomorrow's race. This is not exactly what we had hoped for, but by no means does this mean we don't have a chance at winning tomorrow. But obviously, starting within the first 5 probably would have been a little bit easier. And just look at the closeness of the pack there. Less than 0.3 of a second between pole position Heinz-Dieter Kramer and P10 Stefan Schmidt. Very close indeed. Jumping straight to the grid here, getting ready to get out of the gate, down into P9, and hopefully we're going to be able to keep our noses clean as we head into the first couple of turns there. And here we go, not the greatest start. We got a little bit of wheel spin going on, and Stefan Schmidt right ahead of us there is making an absolute bomb of a start here. Getting boxed in a little bit to the right here, having to touch the grass ever so slightly here. Backing off a little coming into Jaguardo. Somebody's cutting the corner, and we are way down into P11. Let's have a look at the start again. And there we are, a little slow getting out of the gate there. Look at Stefan Schmidt. He's all over the place, but what a start by him. I think he must be making up at least 4 or 5 positions here heading into the left-hander. And obviously, as always, chaos ensues once we hit the first couple of turns, but we managed to get out of this without any damage. Coming down the short straight here into the Villeneuve chicane, we are right on the exhaust of Taro Newton and getting a very bad entry here into the second kink of the chicane here, getting a little bit too much of the slipstream there for Taro Newton, and heading into Tosa, running very wide indeed. Somebody's running off track there. Jadran Dimic go down the inside of his, but Paul Chapman was running off track. We go down the inside of him. We remain in P12, only now we have Jadran Dimic into P11. Coming downhill here into Acqua Minerale, we have somebody going down the inside, cutting the corner there right in front of us. That appears to be one of the Silver Spark cars, and he does it again. We have an accident waiting to happen right in front of us here as we come up the hill, heading into the Alta chicane here. We need to hang back a little bit. This could easily end up going very badly if we can tangle up with these guys here. Right now, we have Paul Chapman, the other Silver Spark car, trying to put us under pressure from behind here, but we managed to defend the P12 position here and are currently right on the exhaust here of Jadran Dimic as we come through turn 15, out on the main straight one more time, getting a bad exit here. Jadran Dimic pulling away ever so slightly as we end up losing 3 places from our starting position on the grid on the very first lap of the race. Lap 4 status coming up the hill here into the Alta chicane. The situation is this: we have a pack of cars right in front of us, just about 2 seconds up the road here, and quite the opposite, we have another pack of cars about 1.5 seconds down on us, being led by Greg Barbier. So currently we're kind of wedged in between 2 huge packs here, and anything can happen, seeing as this race is still very close indeed. Lap 7, the situation pretty much remains the same here. Heading into Paratella, we are closing the gap ever so slightly on the Taro Newtonen pack, and quite the opposite. Again, we are starting to build a slight gap down to Greg Barbier and the pack of cars following him. And right now we are happily keeping pace with the cars in front through sectors 1 and 2, but through sector 3, we are suffering. Jumping ahead to lap 10 here, trying to chase down Taro Newtonen, and still an example of the OP slipstream here. We gain an additional 10 kph on the straight here, so as long as we can just keep contact here, whoa, and again, the slipstream coming into play here as we almost lose the back end here coming out of Tamburello and coming into the Villeneuve chicane. We're going to be backing off ever so slightly here just to remain within striking distance and wait for an opportunity here. Somebody running very wide coming into Tosa, but it appears that he ends up defending that position anyway. Coming up the hill here into Paratella, we're going to be making the move down the inside here of Taro Newtonen. We make the move stick as we are up into P11 right now. And managing to defend the possession here coming into Aqua Minerale, we are right on the exhaust of Jatran Dimic here. Coming out on the main straight, as you can see, Jatran Dimic and the cars right ahead, it appears to be everyone as a matter of fact, are now heading in to make their first pit stop. And I guess this is as good a time as ever for us to come in and do the same on the very next lap. And by the looks of it there, Greg Barbier is going to be coming in to make his first stop as well, as he's right behind us here. Obviously, we also have other cars in the pits right in front of us, and it's going to be interesting to see just how we are going to be rejoining the track here, because we were way down into P11 as the first group of AI cars went in to make their first stop, went into a provisional first, and are still in P1 here as we're waiting to come out of the pits. And I'm not sure what it is about this pit lane here, but it just has this effect on you. It seems so very much longer than anything else. And here comes the pack. All right, Heinz-Dieter Kramer passing us there. Curtis Hardy passing us. We have Torben Simon right behind us there, trying to go down the inside of us here, heading into Traguardo, and he has to think the better of that as we maintain P3, so we take a huge leap forward in the standings here after our first pit stop. Very, very nice indeed. Jumping ahead to lap 18, still in P3, trying to chase down Curtis Hardy in P2 as he's currently about 3 seconds up the road from us. And Heinz-Dieter Kramer actually right ahead of Curtis Hardy, so by no means are we out of the running for P1 here. And on a more positive note, we are opening up a gap down to the P4 car there of Torben Simon. So all we need right now is to set a good laps here and hopefully close the gap on Curtis Hardy.
Dig deep and try and punch out some consistent times now.
Jumping to lap 20 here, having closed the gap on Curtis Hardy and to a certain extent on Heinz-Dieter Kramer in P1. Torben Simon losing loads of time at the moment here. He's about 5.5 seconds down on us, and we had that overcut here heading into the pits on the last set of pit stops. We're going to be trying for the different approach this time around, see if we can't leapfrog a few places ahead here with an undercut, and it's going to be interesting to see just how this plays out. Getting jumped in the pits by Torben Simon, definitely not in my plans there, I gotta say, but obviously we're gonna have plenty of opportunity here. 9 laps remaining of the race to gain back P3 hopefully, but right now we're way down into P18, so it's going to be interesting to see how we get out of the pit lane here. And we have cars. No, they're not coming up behind us there. I thought for a second there somebody was coming screaming down the straight, but we are into P18 here trying to chase down Torben Simon, but loads of cars still with 1 pit stop remaining. Lap 22 here coming through Aqua Minerale, starting to put Torben Simon under some pressure right now. He's starting to take some chances. Also, Christian Wiseman is dropping back in the standings here. So we heading into the Alta chicane. Whoa, just getting a little too much of the curb there and almost hitting the barrier. And this might be our chance that went out the window there for P5. 7 laps remaining only, and by no means was closing the gap to Torben Simon. An easy task here, so we definitely need to bang in a string of really good laps right now if we're going to be closing the gap one more time and have time to put a move on Simon before the finish line. Lap 27, having managed to close at least some of the gap to Torben Simon, about 2.5 seconds up the road right now, and we've gotten a few of these overheating brakes messages from the pit, and I'm not really sure whether or not it's worth it trying to chase down the P3 here, and I think we're probably just going to be hanging back a little here and take care of the brakes. Coming out on the main straight one last time here. We are going to be coming home in P4. We have 2 seconds down to Christian Wiseman. Torben Simon, 4 seconds up the road. No way we're going to be catching him, but starting 9th on the grid and finishing in P4, I guess we can be happy with this one. So there you have it, guys. Heinz-Dieter Kramer taking the win here today. Curtis Hardy finishing in 2nd, and Torben Simon rounding off the podium in 3rd. So a very, very good day for the Valor Racing team. I don't think I've seen these guys near the front of the grid on a consistent basis so far this season here. So that is definitely going to help in the Constructors' Championship there, if there was a Constructors' Championship in Project Cars. All right, let's have a look at this. Okay, so we managed to get the fastest lap of the race there. Obviously, Heinz-Dieter Kramer taking the honors in qualifying. Championship standings here, we are still leading that one, 155 points. Greg Barbier in 2nd, 76 points. And Paul Chapman, man of consistency, 3rd with 69 points here. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'm sorry about the delay here. I'll try and keep to my schedule here, one race every weekend. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more Project Cars action, and I'll be back soon enough. Bye-bye.